the actual fuck is going on with One Piece chapter 659? What's going on? I'm so fucking excited. I got my chapter mixed up. What's going on here? Law is one of the seven warlords of the sea now. Not just that, okay? Not just that. This dude is so gully with it, right? So dirty with it. This dude cut out the hearts of 100 Navy men or 100 pirates. Which one was it? He cuts out 100 hearts, 100 pirate hearts, and he sends them back to Navy headquarters. That is some straight Godfather shit. Oh my God, Law is one of. Oh man, I think I love this dude now, and it makes sense. He's on this island, and he had the whole thing with the sword, where he cuts people and their bodies are kind of moving around. And I think he was the one, he did fight alongside Luffy. I think it was Kid outside the auction hall. And so, I mean, that's okay, okay. So, is he the only one? I guess I'm gonna find out, obviously, but I'm wondering if he's the only one out of the rookies who ended up becoming one of the warlords. Because I know Kid was attacking some of the ships. I think it was Big Mom's ships. So I mean, this is cool. This is cool. This is really cool, man. I like what I'm seeing here. Oda brought him in. I like how this dude had his sword, had like the coat and everything. It was just like, yo, you came to my mansion. White Chase Smoker, what are you doing here? And Smoker says, hey, this island's off limits. And it's off limits to the government too. And that's where he fires back at him. He says, yeah, if it's off limits, the fuck are you doing here? I just love that level of disrespect. And it makes sense. This was a guy who, at the auction hall, he got all kind of love from me, man. Where he looks up and he knows he's being talked about, and he just flips the bird at one of the dudes. I think it was Kid who was talking. He flips the bird, turns around, and proceeds to watch the auction. Like, I love this guy, man. I love him. Like, it's like the small things like that where I'm just looking at it. Like the t-shirt I got going on. Like, he got that Muhammad Ali feel to him. Like, Ali was just real brash. Didn't care who he was talking to. And it was his demeanor, the way he carried himself. And so I'm getting that same vibe from Law, man. That is so beautiful. And it's just like, because Smoker's a vice admiral, I don't know. Like, they might not mix it up, but at the same time, you got two really strong personalities that are in close proximity to each other. So I think that that's pretty interesting. And what I also like is just how when the Straw Hats crossed into the Grand Line, they met one of the seven warlords, or they started running into the seven warlords, where they were building up towards it, where you had Whiskey Peak, and it was all the lower members of Baroque Works, and it led up to, not all along to Crocodile. Well, now they're in the Grand Line. Well, not the Grand Line, they're technically still in the Grand Line, but they're in the New World, and this part, now they meet one of the seven warlords, or they're about to, where they have Law. And they're in close proximity. And if I'm not mistaken, when Law worked with Luffy and was after the whole thing of Marineford, and he got him back to Boa Hancock and patched him up, you know, one of the things he says, next time we meet, you and I are not gonna be friends. And so it's just like, now he's cashing in on that promise. Oda set this up. And it looks like we're gonna see Luffy versus Law. This is gonna be an interesting fight because they're peers. They're peers. And he's got the whole name Surgeon of Death and everything, and now you got these kids, and it's just like, what's going to happen? Who's going to run into him first? Is it going to be Brook, who's fighting the torso of that samurai's head that Sanji's carrying around? Is it going to be Nami's team because of what's going on with the kids, who apparently said they're not sick anymore, so why has he got them away from their parents? Or is it going to be Luffy, who's going to randomly stumble across? And just speaking of Luffy, I don't know who had the dumber moment in this chapter. I don't know if it was Luffy or if it was Zoro. Because Luffy has one of the oars and he's just like, yeah. Everybody start rowing. And Usopp's like, hey, you got to row too. And I like how also the other dummy award for this chapter goes to Zoro. Because Zoro's just looking at everything and he's just like, yeah, one side's really cold, one side's really hot. maybe it'll be just right when I go swim to get this sweat off of me. And it's just like, they're two extreme temperatures. So it's like, okay, you, on top of getting lost, you've officially transitioned into being a meathead. I don't think pre-time skip Zoro was this stupid. And I mean this in an affectionate way. I don't think he was this stupid. So, I mean, 50-50 on that. But I like how one of the things that happens is when they start discussing everything, Nico Robin just gets this idea in her head, and the way it's drawn, she's like, "Yeah, I could ride on Zoro. I bet you would like to ride on Zoro." And so I couldn't help that one. I mean, it's an innuendo. I couldn't help it. And then Luffy's riding on Usopp, and so Usopp gets this idea in his head, and he says, like, "Hey, wait a second. I hope you aren't thinking about us piggybacking on you, or you piggybacking on us, and us being the ferry for you." And it's just so funny. That's what I mean. Like, you get these brief moments where you see the personality of Nico Robin coming out, man. You see the personality. And I thought that was really, really beautiful. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, I got it backwards. Robin wanted to ride on Usopp, so she wanted to get that BBC. And Luffy wanted to ride on Zoro, because Zoro is the first mate. So, okay, now I got it. Now I got it. But this is what's crazy though, right? This is what's crazy. As they're rowing through, one of the things that happens is they get the call, and one of the guys is like, "Hey, hey, 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 boss, they're coming your way." And they remember, oh shit, there was a distress call. I guess that's the boss right there. And so I want to know, who is it they're about to run into, and what the hell does Law have going on here? Because you see these huge silhouettes. Are these some type of giants? Are these the people in the gas mask? What's going on here? This is getting really interesting. The plot keeps thickening. Meanwhile, you got Brook fighting against the torso of that samurai from Wano. So how strong are the samurais from Wano? Because just the torso is giving Brook a hard ass time. And so I thought that was pretty cool. You have some pretty interesting action sequences there. You get one point where Brook gets caught off guard because the samurai is using two swords. So it's just like, when the samurai gets put together, or we're going to see Zoro versus the put together samurai, two swords at once. That's probably going to be a pretty good fight. But the other thing is, why did Law chop this dude up? Because Law has that devil fruit ability. So I'm guessing there's something else here that Oda is setting up. But obviously, the other thing that I thought was interesting is, before Smoker's crew gets there, I guess it would be Tashigi's crew, because she's the captain now, and Smoker is, vice admiral. He outranks her, so technically it's his crew. But one of the things that happens is, in the very beginning of the chapter, one of the guys says it's almost like getting caught in the gaze of Aokiji or Akainu. And for me, this does two things. It's Oda further clarifying how powerful the admirals are. If you're comparing their gaze to these extreme elements, these same elements that are making Luffy's balls shrivel up, then in order to get to the power level of an admiral, you have to be insanely strong. And then the other thing that really stood out to me is when Smoker is saying, okay, pay attention to the currents. We know which of these glaciers are artificial and which ones are natural. It's just a matter of choosing the right ones and blowing them up. That way the current will keep going. And that's when they take off the mask and they say, like, yeah, use your brains for a second. And even Tashigi saying, like, we were able to hear them perfectly. So I mean, all the stuff is there, and it's just like, I was completely downplaying Tashigi. I mean, she didn't even recognize Zoro as being a potential pirate when she first met him. I know technically didn't have a bounty at the time, but at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, he was being held by Captain Morgan. So I'm pretty sure that at some point there was some communication that the pirate hunter Zoro was there. So I mean, and even then, I think they knew that he was a part of the Straw Hat crew. So that's interesting to me. That's interesting that Tashigi has that level of intellect. I was downplaying it. So I mean, that's on me. That's on me right there. That being said, I do gotta say this. Post time skip, Tashigi looking Cheeky looking ripe for a cream pie. But my chapter question to you guys. I'm gonna keep this one real simple. Real simple. So, what were your thoughts when you got to the point where you had Law meeting Smoker? What were your thoughts? Were you as hyped as I was? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have an awesome day.